Asante was not a unified state. They were called the Amantuo, right? These states were independent states who identified as brothers, right? You can give examples such as Insuta, Bekwai, Kumase, among others. So these were independent states, all under the rulership of the Dintra, under Intim Jakari. Intim Jakari was quite a tyrant ruler who abused power, and as a result, these states sought for independence. So one of the people who led the charge for this call for independence was Osei Tutu, and Okomfo was a close ally of Osei Tutu. So oral tradition has it that at around Feyase, the Asante army was losing the war at the time. So it became necessary for them to take stringent measures to ensure victory. And one of the key personalities who played the role which led to victory is Okomfo. So Okomfo at this time, it is believed, made some enchantments. And as a result of these enchantments, whilst he was enchanting, Intim Jakari was also enchanting. So he picked the white kola nut and put it in his mouth and was chewing, whilst Intim Jakari was also chewing his. His was asserted to be a red kola nut. So after a while, he spat, and this became a barrier, right? It became a barrier, and the Dintra army shooting towards the Asante couldn't penetrate any longer after he spat. And it was out of this that the pond was formed. Eventually, he brought out the kola nut, and that became a tree, that grew into a tree, which helped Asante in their victory. Because Intim Jakari at that time was terrorizing a lot of the states in around the Pra area, right? So it was a key event which ensured not just Asante's independence, but also the liberation of all the other states around the Pra area. So I believe that, as you said, these are not just myths. For instance, we can talk about the tree which is still in the middle, currently on the Bosomtwi Road. Those of you who use the Bosomtwi Road around the Feyase will find a tree neatly in the middle of the road, right?
So when the road construction was ongoing, they didn't pull down the tree?
Yes, and it's a great plus. There were people who were complaining, for instance, that could cause an accident. And I said this is one of the things that we have done right as a people, because we are used to pulling down monuments and not preserving them. But I believe the road contractor, Kofi Job, right? He did well in preserving that aspect. So in the future, we can still keep making reference to this tree, that this is the tree that Okomfo planted, and that is what helped Asante in their victory against the Dintra.
Is the pond still there?
For the pond, I doubt if it's still there. I doubt if it's still there. I've not come across anything of that sort. If I'm wrong, I can be corrected, of course. But I've not come across anything like that.
But again, your story about, this kola nut and the kola tree is a bit different from what I had somewhere last year.
Okay.
But again, that is what history is all about. Now, the tree that we have now there, the kola tree, is it the same tree as Okomfo planted, or there's a different? Mr. Edu, you have also done a lot of work in this area.